Bro, I am extra pumped up today, man. I'm always pumped up on Friday. Got happy hour coming up later on today. I'm going to be watching my beloved Internazionale playing today around 2:45. That's why I wanted to do the episode early. I wanted to watch some soccer today, but I am shot out of a freaking cannon. I know that on this episode, we're going to be talking a lot of Dolphins. We are, but I almost kind of don't want to talk Dolphins now. We will, but I'm not going to just yet. I'm not going to just yet because Mario Cristobal, they're paying this dude $8 million a season. I think they should revisit that contract and pay him more. I think Cristobal is worth 10, 11, 12, $50 million per season. He's been on the job 10 days. And just moments before we got on the air here, this came down a little bit after 1:30. I was watching this player. I thought maybe there's a chance Miami could pull this off for the class of 2022. But, guys, you talk about how difficult it is trying to swipe commits from Alabama, trying to get somebody to flip from Bama to anywhere, right? Whether it's Bama to LSU, Bama to Ohio State, Bama to Florida State. It's hard to flip guys that Nick Saban has recruited and gotten commitments from. Well, Nick Saban's former protege, the head coach of our Miami Hurricanes, he flipped one. He flipped a big one. You see the tweet there from my buddy Gabby Urrutia. Mario Cristobal has flipped four-star tight end Jaleel Skinner from Alabama. He announced his commitment a little bit after 1:30, and one of the best tight ends in the country, fourth-ranked tight end recruit in the country, 82nd overall ranked recruit in the country, regardless of position. This is another top 100 player. This is big time. I mean, we were going crazy, rightfully so, a couple days ago about Nigelique Kelly, the defensive end, committing to Miami. That was the 84th total ranked recruit in the country, a top 100 guy. Miami lands another top 100 guy, IMG Academy, so you know he's a big-time player, was an Alabama commit that Mario Cristobal, who Nick Saban referred to years ago when Mario was on Nick Saban's staff. When Cristobal was working for Saban in Alabama and Saban handed over his recruiting department to Cristobal, he referred to Mario as the best recruiter in the country. Well, the best recruiter in the country just got a big one. This guy is a stud. He is the real deal. He is going to be one of the best tight ends, knock on wood, when it's all said and done. This is going to be one of the best tight ends in University of Miami history, I believe. 6'5". He's only 210 pounds right now. But like we say about so many of these 18-year-olds that come in, he's going to put on size. He's going to put on muscle. He's going to be big time. He's got an over 80-inch long wingspan. This guy, he can, you can line him up at wide receiver. You can line him up at tight end. He's the ultimate mismatch. I'm so excited about this. Jaleel Skinner committed to Miami. We recorded our episode, Larry Bluestein and I, we recorded the newest episode of Five Rings Canes this morning. And check that out, by the way. Even though there's been stuff that's now happened later in the day, that's still an awesome episode. I leaned heavily on the recruiting guru, Larry Bluestein, to go over who has committed to Miami. Tell us which of these players can hit the field and compete immediately as freshmen, or which guys are going to take a little bit more time. So check that out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your pods, Five Rings Canes. But, this morning when Blue and I were talking, I was looking at it like, hey, Jaleel Skinner, he's going to make his official choice today. He's an Alabama commit, but he's considering Miami. I wasn't all that confident. Larry Bluestein was a little bit more confident than I was that Jaleel Skinner could pick Miami. Kind of makes me wonder if he knew something. Kind of makes me wonder if Blue knew something and he just didn't want to spill the beans. But this is a great one. And, man, you look, guys, I mean, Skinner, to me, he seems like he's good enough to get a lot of playing time next year as a freshman, but he's not even going to have to. I mean, Will Mallory is coming back for another year. Elijah Arroyo, I think, is going to be an absolute stud at that position. And now you throw Skinner into that mix. I mean, opposing defenses will be fearing Miami's tight ends for years to come. Mallory's going to play out his final season this year, and then it's going to be the Elijah Arroyo and Jaleel Skinner show for years to come. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. Hello, Big Dan 305. Tight end U is back. Hello to David. Yeah, I mushed the Florida Panthers, and it wasn't even on this show. I didn't even mush the Florida Panthers on this show. They got COVID left and right. It was, I think, Wednesday or Tuesday when I was on with Alejandro Solana on the Hawk and Crowder show, and Solana kind of teed me up to talk some Panthers, and I was super bullish on the Panthers, and it's tough, man. My mush was in full force. Hello to Miami Trev too. Hello to everyone in the chat. Brooklyn Rob, my guy. Yeah, he says I'm forbidden from talking anything Florida Panther related. One appearance on QAM and the team is on a losing streak. I am such a mush. Hello, by the way, to Chris, the Finns tailgate. And Chris, if you're still there, do us a favor and throw your Twitter handle in the chat so people can find you on here. He says, "Hey man, I have some Dolphins tickets. I am giving away to Sunday's game. Giving away, not selling them. He's giving them away." He says, "I tagged you on it on Twitter. I could really use some help giving them away. Free fruit? Oh, free food? Are you kidding me? I wish I could use the tickets. I can't use them, but if I could use them myself, I would." So, Chris, if you can throw your Twitter handle in there, I would absolutely love to see. Oh yeah, and Manny Chang pointed out to me in the private chat. This is how much I mushed the Panthers. I reverse mushed Omicron. I guess Panthers game canceled tomorrow due to COVID per ESPN. I did see that headline shortly before we went on. So hey, they can't lose if they canceled the game. So at least the losing streak is going to be on pause for this moment. All right, guys. I want to remind you we have an official sports bar here on Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, and it is the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. We had a watch party at the Quarterdeck for the Miami Heat 76ers game on Wednesday night, which was a glorious victory for the Miami Heat. We had an awesome time at the Quarterdeck. The food is so delicious. I love the fresh seafood. Oh, man, I love the buffalo shrimp. That's my favorite appetizer on the planet. The chicken wings are so good. The burgers and sandwiches are awesome. The baby back ribs are so flavorful and so tender. And guys, if you want to wet your whistle, the Quarterdeck is an awesome place to do that because they have 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day. The happy hour never ends at the Quarterdeck. If you want to watch a big game or a big fight, the Quarterdeck is the place to do it. In fact, they have every UFC pay-per-view for zero cover charge at the Quarterdeck. So if you want to check out their menu before you go or find the location nearest to you, visit them online at quarterdeckrestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. And the official sports book of Donno Daily. Guys, I'm going to have a big weekend at betus.com. And we're going to have Lee Sterling is going to be on the show later on to get us some picks to lock in at betus.com. This is America's favorite sports book, the official sports book of Donno Daily. And guys, BetUS, they've been around for almost 30 years. They are the 3-decade leader. They've never suspended their services the way that some app a lot of you were using recently did. BetUS is always there for you. Yes, you can use it in Florida. This is a full sports book, and they have a casino on their website as well. It's like having Las Vegas in your pocket. Bet NFL, NBA, NHL, college football, bowl season is coming up, my friends. UFC fights, soccer, bet it all at betus.com. And we have a gift for you. We have the best bonus in the industry when you sign up with our code. Sign up with our show code 5RSN125. You see it on the screen there. 5RSN125. Type in our code when you make your deposit, and they're going to give you a 125% sign-up bonus. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. You know who I haven't mushed? Mario Cristobal. I haven't mushed the Canes, at least not the offseason. Jaleel Skinner is a Miami Hurricane. You know, I knew today. I just had this strange feeling. Like when we scheduled the show for today to be a little bit early. And huge thank you, by the way, for everyone joining us live, because it's been very herky-jerky this week. We've had some earlier than normal shows. We've had some normal shows at 3 p.m., which is the usual start time. We're early again today at 1:50. I thank you guys for making the adjustment. And if you're not watching live, hopefully you're watching later and you're still happy. And I knew when we scheduled the 1:45 start time, I had a feeling maybe something good is going to happen with Jaleel Skinner, the stud tight end from IMG, who was going to make his announcement and did make his announcement at 1:30 p.m., a few minutes after 1:30. And I thought, hey, if he commits to Bama, whatever, it is what it is. I won't have to talk about it if he signs his letter of intent to Alabama. But this guy actually flipped to Miami, and the timing couldn't have been better. Shortly before I get on the air, University of Miami pulls off this coup, my friends, this coup to get Jaleel Skinner to the U. I did want to talk a lot of Dolphins today as well. And I know a lot of you coming in, we're listening. Oh, I want a Dolphins rant. Donno, give me something. We haven't watched this team play in damn near 2 weeks. They're coming off the bye week, 5-game winning streak coming in. The bye week killed all the momentum. They've had a bunch of COVID troubles with the Dolphins. We did get some good news this morning, though, on a couple of running backs that are off the COVID list and available to play this weekend. A couple of notables that could miss this game. But I'm telling you, man, when we found out some of the latest COVID positives this week, guys who most likely will not clear the protocol in time to play on Sunday, I started to see some Dolphins fans panicking a little bit. I'm in a couple of different Dolphins group chats. I follow a lot of Dolphins fans on Twitter, of course, and I keep seeing this line come up, especially, I think the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of you cowards out there was when we found out that Jalen Waddle was going on the COVID list. Now, it goes without saying, everybody who's on the COVID list, I think most of these players, if not all of them, are vaccinated, but I wish them a speedy recovery, and hopefully they're asymptomatic and, aren't feeling bad and spreading it to anybody. That goes without saying. Health is the most important thing. But when we found out late in the week, yesterday, that Jalen Waddle was going on the COVID list to add to Javon Holland and so many others, some of which have come off the list since then, I started seeing this phrase a lot. The Dolphins are going to lose to the New York Jets. I saw a lot of people saying that. And listen, I get it, reactionary, right? Jalen Waddle's been one of the best rookies in the NFL. Javon Holland, who's also on the COVID list, one of the best rookies in the NFL. And these guys have both been two of the most important players on either side of the ball in a Dolphins uniform. But when I start seeing people, Dolphins fans, worrying and panicking, saying we are going to lose to the New York Jets, guys, let me be the voice of reason. And let me say to you, stop worrying. The Miami Dolphins not only will beat the New York Jets at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday, the Dolphins will smash the New York Jets at Hard Rock on Sunday. Double digits. I have no doubt about this. There's been a lot of COVID drama with the Dolphins this week. Jalen Waddle, unlikely to be cleared in time. Javon Holland, maybe 50-50. Maybe. What do I know? He was put on the list earlier in the week than Waddle, so maybe Holland. But if we even operate under the assumption that Holland and Waddle both won't play, guys, let me remind you, we're still talking about the New York Jets. In fact, a couple days ago, Miami was favored by 8.5 points in this game. You would think, oh, wait, Donno, with all this COVID stuff, what is it now? 3-point, 4-point favorites? The Dolphins are 10-point favorites. Vegas doesn't fuck around. You guys know that by now. If you watch the show and you hear us examine odds before and after games, you know Vegas does not mess around. The Dolphins have actually become bigger favorites, not smaller favorites throughout the week. Dolphins are favored by 10 points. They're favored by double digits. I'm not worried. Now, on the COVID front, the Dolphins got a lot of bad news earlier in the week. Late in the week, as in this morning, they got some good news. Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed are both off the COVID list, and they are cleared to play. So within, one announcement, we go from having not enough running backs to too many running backs now, right? Because, Duke Johnson could be in the mix as well. Jared Dokes won't be. Jared Dokes was added to the COVID list yesterday, I think, near the end of our show. So, okay, assuming Jalen Waddle can't play, that hurts. But, guys, Tua Tagovailoa, he's going to rely more on people like Mike Gesicki, who's money, Devontae Parker, who we are always reminded when he's actually out there, Devontae Parker is a big-time player. You saw that a couple of weeks ago against the Giants. He's missed a lot of time. He's hurt all the time. But when Devontae Parker is out there near 100%, I don't know if he's ever been fully 100%, but when he's out there relatively healthy, Devontae Parker is a difference maker. And guys, don't forget the secret weapon. No, I'm not talking about Will Fuller. Screw him. The secret weapon is Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins is always clutch when he gets a chance to play. And he's now forced to get a chance to play because they don't have a whole lot of options. I mean, Mac Hollins has almost as many touchdown catches as he has catches this year. The guy just makes plays, whether it's special teams or offense as a wide receiver. Mac Hollins is a playmaker. He's going to come through. And Tua Tagovailoa, he's always been very good at, especially this year when he's really come of age over the last month and a half or so. He's really good at spreading the football around and taking advantage of the next man up mentality. Okay. And you look again at this Jets matchup. There are 32 teams in the National Football League, and the New York Jets are ranked number 32 against the pass. Miami could line up Manny Chang in the slot, and he's probably going to catch 7 balls against the New York Jets. Okay? The last time Tua Tagovailoa faced the New York Jets, he completed 82% of his passes and had an excellent game. So now, and for the Jets on offense, the Jets offense, I would actually be more afraid of the Jets if Joe Flacco was starting like he was last time. Flacco actually played pretty well against the Dolphins back in November. But Zach Wilson, the rookie, he's starting. This is a terrible matchup for the rookie going up against this defense. The Dolphins' coverages and blitzes will eat him alive. Zach Wilson, we've seen, is prone to making bad decisions, especially under pressure, holding the football too long, taking unnecessary sacks. He's got 6 touchdown passes to 11 interceptions this year. People like Jalen Phillips on the Miami Dolphins defensive front, Andrew Van Ginkel, they're going to be licking their chops with this matchup against Zach Wilson. I am very confident. All right, let's bring on our first guest of the day. This man helps us win money. We love it. ParamountSports.com is his website. Lee Sterling joins us. And Lee, let's pick up where I was leaving off there. Despite the fact that it's been kind of a COVID merry-go-round this week for the Dolphins, they're still, last I checked, double-digit favorites against the Jets. Would you be worried about this game from a Dolphins point of view? Because I'm not.
I think they're going to win the game, but I wouldn't lay double digits. One of the things that I use, Alex, is I've got like 10 rules that I try not to go against. If you go against these rules in the long run, you're going to get killed. You'll be living under a bridge. I'm being honest with you. So one of them is if you're not a high-scoring offense in college football or the NFL, don't lay double digits. And without possibly their top 3 backs and their best wide receiver, it gets a little bit tougher. I mean, what does Miami score generally? 20 to 30 points in that range, tops. And it's not like they lit up the Jets in the first game. Jets' pass defense is awful. I mean, you and I, at our ages and our not so great shape, could probably catch 4 or 5 balls.
I said it, Lee, before you came on. We could line up my producer Manny Chang in the slot. He's going to catch 7 balls this week.
Well, Manny must be in decent shape then, right?
Well, I mean, he's younger. He's younger than us. He's like like late 20s. So yeah,
that's fine. Here's a problem I have also, and a little bit of a worry. Holland, Wilson likes to push the ball down the field, and having Holland deep would really come in handy. He is a ball hawk, so you got to get a couple turnovers against him. I think Miami wins the game, something like 26-20, but I actually take the 10 points here.
Here's something I wanted to throw in that's not necessarily betting related, but there probably will be props on him at some point. What did you make of the whole Urban Meyer fiasco? And do you feel like I do that? Okay, so like obviously Urban stock, it's in the shitter right now. Right. But I feel like I've seen this movie before. He's going to take a year off, maybe 2 years off, and then at some point in a year or two, a big college job is going to come open, and it's going to be like none of this ever had. It's like he never kicked anybody, right? And he never grinded on some co-ed, and he's going to wind up in a big college job in a year or two.
You hit it right on the head. But look what's going on in their practice field. Guys are doing, back handstands. I mean, they are just having the best time. I think Trevor Lawrence has not thrown more than 1 touchdown pass in 8 straight games. Guarantee that line went from like 3 to 5, 5.5. They'll blow out Houston here. This will be like a 31-10 win. And teams always play well their first game without their coach. In this instance, I mean, they want to show the world that he was a jerk. I mean, we said it here at Miami, and there was things even with some of the Miami coaches. We're Miami fans.
Yeah,
there were some things Dennis Erickson did, like hiding the drug test to Warren Sapp, that wasn't right, that I don't like. I condone bad behavior. I condone breaking the rules. So I just always felt that he didn't look the other way. He knew what was going on with a lot of players, just all to win the game. So never a fan of Urban Meyer. If you have to cheat to win or to let those things, slide by, I don't think it's worth it.
Now, you mentioned you're a big Miami Hurricanes guy, as am I, everybody knows. Did you see shortly before I started the show here,
right?
They flipped an Alabama commit, stud, 4-star tight end, Jaleel
Right.
Skinner. He spurned Saban to come to Miami. How great is that?
We haven't seen that happen in almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. I think we're going to get 6, 7, 8 announcements in the next week from transfers, from other guys, even the rest of the day today. I think kids, and these are the right kids. These are kids that want to play. They know they're headed for tough practices. There's going to be competition. They're coming here because they want to get better and they want to be great, and they're coming for the right reasons. I hate to say this. I mean, he may be a nice guy, but someone like Randy Shannon, if a kid wanted to come and play for Randy Shannon, I don't think he's a guy that's going to usually do much. So, some of these other guys, like Al Golden.
Oh, yeah.
Everything has changed. And with Miami's administration putting in $20 to $30 million a year, I'm not saying we're going to win 3 national titles in the next 10 years, but I think we're going to be competitive. I think we're going to be top 10, top 15 almost every year now.
All right, so this is an important weekend coming up, Lee, financially for a lot of folks because you either still have holiday shopping to do, or you've already run up a big credit card balance doing holiday shopping, and eventually you got to pay that off, right? So, how can we win some money this weekend? What are the games or fights you're looking at this weekend?
Well, it sounds like you fall in all those categories, right, Alex?
Yeah. I barely started. The only shopping that I've done is my wife buying stuff for my kid and telling me how much I owe her for the stuff. That's the only shop. I'm going to have to do some last minute shopping this weekend.
Well, I have 2 daughters. My kids are older now. They're 22 and 24. I just used to open up the bill, and sometimes I have 3 screens. So if there wasn't much going on, just look at one screen, just track her as she was shopping online or going from store to store. So, it's fun when you have kids. You want them to get and have more than you do. But I've got some games, I think, and some situations and some fights we can win on. So this will be our last show, unfortunately, until after the new year. I'm going away to New York City.
Have a good time.
Going to visit my youngest and have some fun up there. But here's a game that let's look at the Miami game, University of Miami, being played the 31st. You got a Washington State team that's just happy to be there, in my opinion. They beat Washington. Beating Washington is like, I'm telling you, to the underdog Washington State Cougars, it's like beating Florida and Florida State in a year. That doesn't happen often. They celebrate early and often. And they got 3 key opt-outs. Now we've got a key opt-out in Rambo, but they've got 3 key guys opting out, plus their best safety will be missing the game. So without their top 2 defensive backs, I think Van Dyke's going to do a number on them. I think that you're going to see Rob Likens. He's coaching for maybe he's going to move to SMU. Maybe if he shows out well and they haven't hired an offensive coordinator, maybe he's got a shot here. So I think he's going to open up the playbook. I like our weapons against their defense here. And I checked the weather. No snow. Last 2 times we played there, no snow. Yeah. And remember, the last time we played there in 2015, our interim offensive coordinator tried a halfback pass in the snow with Joseph Yearby. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, a joke. I don't think we're going to see that. I think the kids are going to be really motivated. I'm hearing Mario will be up in the press box, and they want to put some put a good game on film for him to see and make a nice impression. I like Miami 38-28 in that game. Another bowl game I like is the semifinal down here. Why is this line 8 points? I think Georgia's good. Their defensive line is great, but I think there's some doubts in their mind. They got handled by an Alabama offensive line. They should have wanted to put Alabama away. They played the game like they were just playing the Missouri Tigers. So Kirby Smart, never been a guy that's impressed me in a big game. On top of that, you've got Michigan that I think over the last 4 games improved more than any team in the country. They are getting better. Their offensive and defensive coordinators had great game plans against Ohio State and Iowa. I see two similar teams, maybe a little more talent for Georgia, maybe a better coaching staff for Michigan now. And I never used to be a Jim Harbaugh fan. Middle of the season, I sat there and watched that game. I'm like, I had Michigan State in that game, but I got lucky. And you got to be honest with yourself. Michigan was a better team that day. Sometimes, home field advantage, a team plays out of their mind. And that's what happened in the fourth quarter with Michigan State. Said, look out for Michigan. I started riding them from there on out. So I think Michigan plus the points. I could see them winning the game outright. I'm going to put half my wager on them, +8, half on the money. And remember, teams getting double digits, these early bowl games, the first 8-9 days of the bowls, a lot of money line winners. Now, during the regular season, double-digit underdogs get creamed. You lose money. Yeah. But the first 8, 9, 10 days of the bowls, you see a lot of double-digit underdogs win outright. So like that. And then let's look at a fight. How about this? UFC fight. Have you ever seen Jordan, the Monkey King Levitt fight? Okay. Yeah. So he's taking on Matt Robo Sales. It's a lightweight, 155-pound fight. The last time that we saw Sales fight, he fought at the featherweight weight class, 145, but he actually didn't make weight. He was 148.5 pounds, and he was taken down immediately and submitted via twister. I don't know if you remember that role.
I do. It's only happened like 3 or 4 times in the UFC ever.
Yeah, almost never. It was the last. Yeah. I think, in fact, Bryce Mitchell was awarded 2019 Submission of the Year for that move. And I think that Levitt is just better grappler, and I think it's a mismatch. So I say, move over, Lion King. Here comes the Monkey King. Hakuna Matata. Levitt by submission here over Matt Robo Sales. And how about my guy, Jason? I mean, he was right on the money. I mean, his sidecar France call with that KO plus 300 was magical. He also had Juliana Pena said that she had heart. Don't bet against her. Plus
I didn't listen to him on that, but I had Amanda. Obviously, I wasn't going to bet her odds, but I had Amanda in a parlay, and so I lost on that. But I did not. I should have listened to Jason on Juliana, and I ignored good advice. I hate when I do that.
And then Oliveira. I mean, impressive win. His submissions, he was right on the money there. So Jason's working on a big card for tomorrow. Remember, it starts at 4:00.
Oh, that's right. Good
like shout. this Levitt fight, first fight of the card at about 4:05, 4:10. Nice. So I always get calls and emails like at 6, 7 o'clock. When does the card start? How many fights are left? I'm like, you already missed it. Next week. So it starts at 4:00. Jason's ready to go. We'll be finalizing. They just had the weigh-ins recently, so we should be set in a couple hours. Anyone wants to get that? 5 selections, just $25 there. And we have what's called Double Down December. You can get through December 31st, normally $297. All our football selections, just $97. Use coupon code SAVE200 at ParamountSports.com or give us a call, 800-400-9741.
Excellent. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. By the way, I know you follow so many different games and so many sports. Are you worried that we could get maybe some leagues paused pretty soon because of all this COVID out there?
I don't think so. I mean, if we haven't had it, like for the Browns and the Redskins, we're not going to have it. This variant is going wild. My daughter just called me from New York City, told me she's got it. So, But what we're seeing is, things like a sore throat. It's not that bad, not as bad. So people be safe. I don't think so. I think we're going to see maybe, and we've already seen some hockey and some college basketball. We might see some NBA games canceled.
Yeah,
but
the Panthers game got postponed for tomorrow.
It did. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be they're down a bunch of players. So they can make up 2, 3, 4 games. I think we're going to see it run rampant for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. So everyone be careful. But the NFL, different animal. Just roll on, play on. And I think they factored that in. Last year they gave, each team extra players on their practice squad. So, if you take care and do the right thing, and your players are vaccinated, you have a better chance of getting back on the practice field and playing quicker. And so I think there should be. They worked that in, and I think that's important. And we need a diversion. I'm going to be sitting home this weekend, so I want to watch games. And yeah, there might be a few less college basketball and hockey games, but congrats to the NFL. And they also relaxed what they're going to do as far as allowing players back if they're vaccinated, and they're not showing symptoms and they test negative. So looking forward to the weekend. Anyone wants to check us out, ParamountSports.com. Want to wish you, Alex, because this is the last time we probably hook up after the new year. You, your family, if you're going to Disney again this weekend?
Not this weekend. I've been going like once every 2 months lately. I think we're not going to be able to go till like February, so I'm going to be having withdrawals, Lee.
Okay, so hopefully I help you out with some winners here. I want to wish you, your family, your staff, all the listeners out there happy, healthy, and safe holiday season.
You as well. And I know you mentioned your daughter's not feeling so bad, but I'm sorry to hear that she got the variant. So I hope she gets through it quickly, and that that her symptoms stay mild, my friend. God bless you and the entire family.
Thanks so much. Take care, Alex.
Love it. Awesome stuff there from Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. He is the man. You know who else is the man? Our next guest. He's spreading kindness, positivity, and love every single freaking day. Wow, look at that. Look at even the t-shirt, man.
And all day, baby.
This is a great time of year to spread all that love, of course, the holiday season. I mean, it just makes everybody feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Stephen D. from Miami Sports Music, a good friend of ours here. Steve, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm super excited to be on. Thank you for having me. I love coming on the best afternoon show on the planet on 5 Reasons Sports, Donno Daily. If you haven't hit that like button already, I don't know what you guys are doing. But better hit that like button.
And by the way, I accept that compliment because it's coming from the best morning host on the internet, right? From Clock Blockers.
Look at you. See what we do?
Yeah, man.
I like it, man. How's it going?
Doing well, man.
It's crazy, man. It's been such a crazy week in sports. Like, I know I'm here to talk about the Dolphins, but man, like the whole Mario Cristobal and COVID and Panthers and Spencer Knight going down. And it's just been crazy, man. There's so much going on in the world of sports.
And it's been like COVID-wise, it's been a crazy week for the Dolphins. And, we did get some good news this morning that they're getting 2 of their running backs back, that Gaskin and Ahmed are coming off the COVID list, which is good. And, there's been so much, including like the ones that have really freaked people out the most, I think, are Javon Holland and Jalen Waddle. And Waddle especially, it doesn't seem like there's enough time for Waddle to clear. Holland, maybe, if I keep my fingers crossed. But let me ask you this hypothetical, Steve, that if we do get to Sunday and neither Jalen Waddle or Javon Holland can play, who do you think the Dolphins would miss more between the 2 of those guys?
It's a really good question, Alex. I think they both equally would be very important that they weren't there. Let me explain. So if you look at it from shout out to Caddyshack, I like that. The offensive side of the ball, when it comes to it, Jalen Waddle is such a big component. He's second in receptions in the NFL right now, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Not rookies, the NFL. So that means that when our quarterback is on the field, that quarterback by the name of Tua Tagovailoa, he's searching, he is looking for that man. And to be able to see look at Estefan. I did not say that. See, Estefan's calling me out on another network. He's not going to do it on my You're lucky I love you, Estefan. So basically, you look at that and you see what has to happen on offense. So it gives guys like Preston Williams, if he's able to come out and play, it gives a lot of guys on the offensive side of the ball. Hopefully Kirk Merritt.
Yes,
crossing my
Kirk.
fingers.
Please.
Kirk, Estefan said I was the president of the Deshaun Watson fan club, which I am not. I am the president of the Kirk Merritt fan club, though.
And I'm a huge Mac Hollins fan, and I figured there is no excuse not to use this guy a lot on Sunday.
Yeah, they should be. And then just to kind of go to the defensive side of the ball, Javon Holland is easily the steal of this year's draft. There's no doubt in my mind. And if you look at it from the standpoint of what can the Dolphins do better on defense, they have a top 5 defense right now in the NFL. Yeah. So it's very easy to kind of say, hey, look, Javon Holland's not here. He's going to make the impact is not going to be as big. But the reality is, as I like to say on my show, the reality is next man up. And so I think they both will be missed. But I also think that there's people behind them that will be able to step up. And we're playing the Jets, Alex.
Thank you.
We're playing the Jets. It's not like, and look, everybody's like, well, they're an NFL team. You can't look over them. I get it. I understand it. I'm a little bit of a homer. I can admit it. But they're the Jets. They have beat us 2 times in the last 6 years. I don't think tomorrow's going to be the third.
Yeah, and you made the most important point there. Look who you're going up against. Like, I get it, being without so many important players, potentially, because some of these guys might still be cleared before Sunday, knock on wood. But being without so many guys, this is the time to do it. Like, if you're going to have a game where you got a ton of guys inactive, God, thank you, it's this one and not some of the other, and even the rest of the way, you've got games that could potentially be winnable, but this is the most winnable of the winnable games that you have left. So this is the right one.
100%. And look, here's, looking at the COVID situation, it's a very fluid situation in the NFL right now. I've been on Twitter like nonstop since last night. That game was crazy last night. But looking at Twitter right now, there's a rumor saying that the NFL within the hour, maybe even before you get off the air here, is going to make an announcement on the Browns game, on the Browns-Raiders game. And if they're going to move it to Monday or Tuesday. Because the Browns just keep on having all of these things that are happening to them. They have but here's the thing with them. They are all, I think they're a fully vaccinated team for the most part, and they're having this outbreak. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of the year, the NFL came out and said, hey, look, if you have an outbreak and your team's not vaccinated at a certain percentage, you're going to forfeit the game. So people on Twitter are like, well, it's not fair that the Raiders they have no problems with COVID and Cleveland does. Ernesto said the game has been moved. I can't confirm nor deny that, but I know that's what they were talking about, and it was supposed to be announced within the hour. So
extra Monday Night Football, giddy up.
And it means something, right? It means something for the Dolphins. The rest of the AFC is also going to be looking at it too. So I have no problem with it, because I said on my morning show this morning that if a team is fully vaccinated or, majority's vaccinated, they have this outbreak with players that are vaccinated, that are asymptomatic, I have no problem moving the game 48 hours. What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. By the way, Estefan, he writes in.
Just ignore Alex. Just ignore Estefan's statement.
I don't, Estefan, he was successful in taking me on like an off-ramp into a quick detour here, because something did come out from ProFootballTalk.com today about Deshaun Watson. This is how close he was to becoming a Miami Dolphin at the trade deadline.
Why, Alex? Why are we talking about it?
Because news breaks and we cover it. That's what responsible people in our field do.
I get it, man, but I'm going to have this argument with you, Alex. I'm going to have this argument with you, okay? There's no point in talking about the man. None.
No, there is.
Why? Explain to me why.
I'll explain it to you, because honestly, I feel like the way that this worked out was the best case scenario for the Dolphins, because we've come to find out since the trade deadline, Tua Tagovailoa was a lot better than people thought he is, and I think it would have been a mistake making this move. But I'll be quick here. According to ProFootballTalk.com, you remember it came out a few days before the trade deadline that Stephen Ross would only make this deal if he could, quote unquote, clear up the legal situation, right?
Correct.
And according to Mike Florio, 18 of 22 plaintiffs were ready to settle with Deshaun Watson. So it actually only came down to four holdouts are the reason why he's not a Miami Dolphin, because they were at 18 for 22. If they could have gotten to 22 for 22, Deshaun Watson would be a Miami Dolphin right now.
Do you see what's come out in the last 48 hours, though, Alex?
Yeah, I have. And listen, here's what it sounds like to me. And I'm not excusing Alec. I don't want people to think I don't want people to think I'm defending Deshaun Watson.
You brought up the topic, so we're having the topic.
I did. We're having the topic to me. I don't want to make it sound like I'm defending Deshaun Watson because all of this, the whole thing is gross. Like the whole thing is gross. But this sounds to me more like a potential prostitution issue, and like maybe they should be looking into human trafficking, because when you're talking about like how much money he was cash apping people for happy endings and how he had like an intermediary finding women for him, like it sounds to me like this guy is, he's into professionals is what it sounds like to me. So I think there are a number of different things that the law enforcement bodies could be looking into here. And it's not just assault. I think they could also be looking into prostitution.
So since we're having the conversation,
it's my fault.
I'm blaming you. Don't even worry about that, Alex. I have to admit, when the allegations were brought up and we were on the losing streak, I was deemed at that moment, hey, look, there's nothing that's coming out. The evidence that had come out so far was very in favor of Deshaun more than it was the alleged victims, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, look, innocent till proven guilty, right?
Yeah.
And I look at that and I say, hey, look, Deshaun is a smarter quarterback and a better quarterback than Tua on the field. So if that's being said, I was on the train of bring him to Miami. Trade deadline happens. You're off the topic. We stop talking about it. Now, all of a sudden, we're on a win streak. We're on 5-game win streak. Tua's looking good. His completion. He's looking like the quarterback we all thought he could and will be eventually, right?
Yeah.
And the team is coming together. And now I'm like, okay, hold on. This is what we wanted in the first place, was Tua to be a good quarterback. So why are we having the conversation? So I said on my morning show, I was like, we're not going to talk about it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get the reality is that it's still a viable topic, because if Tua does good and we miss the playoffs and we go 9-8, or we go 10-7 and we just miss it, and he settles everything out of court, great. Tua upped his trade value. We also, it's a win-win situation. I personally think that Tua is the future of the Miami Dolphins. I think Tua is the guy that we need now, and he's moldable. He is somebody that can take this team to the next level. I think our offensive line is the issue. So to say one last thing about the whole Deshaun Watson situation, I think there's just too many red flags now at this point.
I agree.
And now the details have come out.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a win in the Dolphins organization, let alone any organization, to go out and getting him right now.
Yeah, it looks really bad for him. Yeah, it looks really bad. And for the Dolphins if they were to go after him. So
yeah, and look, we're in the playoff hunt with Tua Tagovailoa. Now, the real debate that we had on our show this morning was Justin Herbert and Tua. I'm sick of having that debate. But I mean, it's
Herbert. It's Herbert. I'm like, I still think that out of those two, the Dolphins got the wrong guy, but it doesn't mean they can't both be great. And they're different.
Who did you want on draft night?
I wanted Tua.
Thank you. That's all that needs to be said.
We should have listened to Mike Tannenbaum, though. Who?
Mike who? Who? Please, no. No.
That's the one time we should have listened to Mike Tannenbaum. The one time ever.
And here's the thing. Did you watch the game last night?
Yeah, I watched most of it. I may or may not have passed out.
Be honest with me, Alex. Those first 3 quarters were atrocious. It was bad football
absolutely.
On both sides, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Two things. I want to have a conversation with two things. If Coach Flores pulled any of the crap that Brandon Staley did last night, going for it the way he did, your show and my show and every show all day today would have been, get rid of Flores. I can't believe that he did that. We would crucify him. And if Tua played how bad Herbert played for the first 3 quarters, we would crucify him too.
Yeah, we would. Everybody. Yeah.
So why is it that Tua is not getting that same benefit of the doubt on the opposite side? Right? On the opposite end of the spectrum.
I mean, my easy answer is people made up their minds about him first handful of games he played as a rookie when he was, he had a couple games, I think 3 games last year where he threw for under 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just made up their minds that, oh, this guy, he's not prolific. He's a game manager. This was the wrong pick at number 5. And then 2 things happen here, Steve. Number 1, a lot of the gas bags in the media, which do help shape the opinions of others, because maybe people don't watch every Dolphins game. So they depend on people like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd
instead of Alex Donno and Stephen Daniels.
Right. But so somebody who's living in like Tulsa, Oklahoma may not watch every Dolphins game, but they listen to what Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith have to say about the Dolphins. And so a couple things happened here. Some of these media blowhards, they made up their minds about Tua last season. And these media guys, and I've heard, like I've had program directors tell me before, people that I've worked for in the past, and I've worked for many program directors over the years because they tend to rotate it in a lot. Yeah. So you don't have to try to figure out who I'm talking about. It was a number of different people that, like, if you're a host or a personality and you change your mind about things, that's like a sign of weakness. Like there's this weird thing, and it's like one of these old school media tropes that I think is BS. I don't think it should be this way, that if like a media guy changes their mind about, so like if you despise LeBron James one day and then a month later you're a big LeBron fan, that's like a sign of weakness. I mean, I've changed my mind about Tua Tagovailoa multiple times. It's just reality. I'm giving you who I am. These guys don't like to change their minds.
You want to see something cool? So Caddyshack, Dolphin Don, Estefan, who else is in here? That's usually Caddyshack. What is the name of my morning show besides Clock Blockers? What is the nickname that everybody gives my show in the morning? Put it in the chat. We'll wait for you to put it in because that will answer how I am, and I'm okay with that. I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you, Alex. I think it's okay to change your mind. I think it's okay to say, you know what, I was wrong.
Yeah.
And you and I have understand. Look, Caddyshack put it up there. Dolphin Dom put it up there. Flip floppers. They say I flip flop. That's okay. I love flip flops.
I flip flop so much. Too.
I don't have a problem with that. And, and I always make, they look, the fan said, Steven, flip floppers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. And I eat it because I don't have a problem with it. I think that when I flip flop on something, I did an eye test, or I was able to examine something from a different angle and say,
and things just change sometimes, because honestly, the Tua of 12 days ago, the last time he played, didn't look like the same Tua from 3 months ago, right? So like, things can change. Like the source material can change.
100%. And I don't understand why it's not okay in the sports world to do that. And that's okay. That gives guys like you and I the opportunity to change the landscape of it and it be something that's normalized and okay. It's the ultimate form of integrity, saying what you believe. I agree.
Yeah. And that can change sometimes, man. I mean,
100%, man. 100%. I think that Tua is the future of this franchise. I think Coach Flo is. I think there's 2 things that I believe when we were on the 7-game losing streak and now. We need a better offensive coordinator, a veteran, and we need better player development on the offensive line.
Yeah.
We do.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with saying that. I'm not being critical of the team. I'm calling it as I see it.
Now, another one of the reasons why I think the Dolphins are going to win comfortably on Sunday against the Jets, despite the fact that there could be important players out. And I saw someone said in the chat, we said it, but if anyone's tuning in late, you might have missed it. Salvon Ahmed and Myles Gaskin are back. They were cleared. They were cleared off the COVID list, which is good. I'm not expecting Jalen Waddle to get cleared because his was so late in the week. Javon Holland, maybe. That would be awesome if he could get cleared in time for Sunday. Yeah. But despite all the moving parts and all the absences, one of the reasons why I think the Dolphins are going to win this game comfortably is they're going up against Zach Wilson. Now, people were making fun of Joe Flacco when he played against the Dolphins a few weeks ago. But honestly, Steve, I'd rather go up against Zach Wilson than Joe Flacco. I mean, there's a reason why Flacco got the nod in that game. Veteran mentality, has seen every blitz there is to see, quick release, despite the fact the guy can't move and he's older than dirt. But what's going to happen with Zach Wilson out there? Zach Wilson is already very mistake prone as a rookie. 11 interceptions to 6 touchdowns this year. Has a habit of sometimes holding the ball too long and taking unnecessary sacks. The Dolphins, 0 cover. Their blitzes, they are going to confuse the living crap out of Zach Wilson. I think this is going to be a nice dub for Miami.
I think your question is, what does Zach Wilson bring that maybe they didn't have before? Is that your question?
Yeah, sure. I don't even know if it was a question. I'm just yammering on and on.
Here's the thing: when you have a rookie quarterback, you have to play him. You have to live with them. You have to live with the mistakes and all. And that's kind of where the New York Jets are right now. They have Saleh, right? Robert Saleh, who I think is a really good head coach and could be – he's 10 times better than Adam Gase will ever be. And
so are you.
I mean, that's not saying much. That's not saying – I set the bar high there, right?
Yeah.
So I look at that, and I think that they just need to let the kid play. Let the kid play. Now, I think they made some mistakes this year. They had a quarterback in Mike White who should have been playing the moment Zach Wilson went down, and he had that great game. The next game he goes out and throws 4 interceptions. They put him on the bench. He hasn't seen the field since. That's not fair to that kid.
Yeah.
Let him play. See what you have. You know what you get with Joe Flacco. Flacco did give you the better opportunity to win the game against the Dolphins. Not going to sit here and lie to you and say not. But if I am a head coach and I want to know what I have on my roster and I'm in the middle of a rebuild with the Jets it should have been Mike White in that game 2 or 3 weeks ago in New York, the game that I was at. And if you look at it now, Flacco still gives them the better chance to beat the Dolphins on Sunday.
Yeah.
But Wilson needs to be starting because he needs that playing time.
I agree with that
experience.
I agree with that. I'm just saying it plays into the Dolphins' favor because I would actually be more fearful of Flacco than Wilson.
100%. And that's why I'm not really upset that if Holland doesn't play, it's not the end of the world. It's not. And that's kind of, what I'm getting at with that. So, look, I think that the real question is what happens after this Jets game. Because we have 3 very unique games back to back to back, right? So shout out to Dolphin Don. Love Dolphin Don. You have the Saints on Monday night, which historically the Miami Dolphins play bad.
Yeah. I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that, but I'm thinking not good.
Not good on prime time. And they don't play well against New Orleans, right?
Yeah,
now, there's no Drew Brees. Sean Payton just got COVID, so he's out for this coming up Sunday. He could still be out next Sunday. We don't know.
I feel like now they've got some material for the next Sean Payton movie. Did you see Kevin James?
Oh my God, that looks so good. That looks so
I think it looks terrible. I think it looks
great. You know why it looks great? Because
now they're going to have the sequel because they have the Bounty Gate year. Now they're going to have Sean Payton. Omicron will be the
Omicron. I see what you did there, Alex. You know what? If this doesn't work out for you, the movie business might be what you need to do, bro. Hollywood is where it's at for you.
That's right.
So, what was I saying? I was saying that if you look at that game, then you go to Nashville. Look, everybody's calling me a mush. You can call me a mush.
Me. No, he's called. Believe me, he's called. If anything, they probably love all of your predictions and hate mine. I've got a reputation on this show. I can't shake it. It's a stink that I can't get off of me.
Well, it's funny because Estefan says that I'm a mush, but the reality is when the Dolphins started their winning streak, Houston, Baltimore, New York, who was at the first 3 games? Me. This guy.
Yep.
This guy. And you know what I'm so nervous about going on this? You know what I decided to do? I am on the plane tomorrow morning, and I will be there in Miami tomorrow for the game on Sunday, by the way. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, you know what? I do know what you're doing because I talked to your boy. You're going to
I'm going to Big John Stud's place to watch.
Big John Stud's to watch the Dolphins game.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what you're doing tomorrow night, but we should get together tomorrow night. I'll be with the Honorable Solo D tomorrow night.
We should. As long as it's somewhere I can watch the UFC fights, I'm good.
Bro,
I got to do some live tweeting.
Are you ready for some UFC, man?
I am. I'm excited. I was born ready.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it'll be
such. So, hey, what about college football, man? You ready
What
for the
about it?
bowl games? You ready for some bowl games?
Yeah, I'm excited for, even though it's like it is what it is, like interim coaches left and right. I'm excited for Miami, Washington State in the Sun Bowl. I'm very excited for the CFP. I'm really excited. And isn't there even a bowl game going on today? I saw people tweeting out highlights from the Bahamas Bowl.
Our sponsor, Tail
Ooh.
Greeter, has a bowl in Orlando today. The
Oh,
Tail
that's
Greeter
awesome.
Cure Bowl.
That's so
Northern
cool.
Illinois. Shout out to Tail Greeter. Love them.
Nice.
Tail Greeter's a sponsor of our podcast network and our pregame show. They're amazing. But they have a bowl game today in Orlando called the Tail Greeter Cure Bowl that'll be on ESPN at 6 p.m.
Awesome.
And it's Northern Illinois versus Coastal Carolina, so it'll be really, really good.
Yeah, that's actually a good game. Those are both teams that won me some money betting this past year, so I will watch.
I don't play, but if I did, those would have been games that I definitely
You're better off not playing. Those were two of the only teams that won me money this past year.
Hey, man, what are you? We don't get a chance to talk, and I know you're wrapping up, but I am just interested to know, like, what's your thoughts about Mario Cristobal, man?
Dude, you were a saint. I'm so glad you asked me that, because honestly, this past week, that's all I've wanted to talk about. And it's funny because we do these shows every day, and you see varying week to week, certain things pop more than other things, right? Like some weeks Heat talk pops the most. Some weeks Dolphins talk pops the most.
Yep.
This past week and a half, it has been 2 weeks, really. It's been Canes has been what's really popping. And man, I'll tell you, and I said this at the top of the show, Steve. Mario Cristobal, huge contract. He's getting paid $8 million a year at Miami. They might want to redo the deal and give him 10, 11, or 12 million, because just what he did today, about a half hour, 20 minutes before
flipping Skinner
today, he flipped Skinner from Alabama. Like, you don't understand.
That's a big deal.
People don't understand. Like, I hope people understand this. It is so rare to flip a player from Nick Saban. It does not happen more than, once every when you're talking about big time players. I mean, maybe an occasional 3-star or something you might flip, but a big time player like this, you don't typically flip from Nick Saban, especially to go somewhere like Miami, given their recent results. I mean, if he flipped from Bama to Ohio State or something, that's one thing, but flipping from Bama to Miami is a really big deal. I mean, Cristobal, he's been literally on the job for 10 days. He's been 10 days at the job at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
The recruiting class he's gotten so far for 2022, and I say so far because there could be more. They got somebody else in the transfer portal today as well. Defensive lineman transferring from USC, Jacob Lichtenstein, who I don't know very much about, but he is a Fort Lauderdale native. And I'll have to pump my guy Larry Bluestein's brain on that. So I think Cristobal now has, if you include the transfer portal, he's got 10, 11 guys in this class. And these are
the top 300 players in the country.
Quality players. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, he's considered to be one of the best recruiters in the country. And in 10 days, we're already seeing it.
100%. Not related to the University of Miami, but I've talked about it on my show, but I really haven't had the opportunity to talk about it with anybody else, is Deion Sanders and what he did.
I love it.
At JHU.
Yeah.
And I'm Jackson State University, and what he's doing for HBCUs and how big that is. Just so everybody knows, my wife went to Alcorn State. She's an HBCU alum. I love I think HBCUs are a rich and great and cultured background and a great place for people to get an education. I almost went to one myself. I almost went to North Carolina A&T. But I look at that and I'm so excited to see what Deion Sanders is doing for college football in changing the landscape of having the number one high school recruit in the country go to an HBCU. Yeah. And I said weeks ago, if he gets, let the number one in basketball or football go to an HBCU, it will change the entire game of how recruiting works and college football works.
And here we go.
I mean, it's insane. It's insane if you really think about it, right?
Yeah, it really is. It really is, man. And it's and obviously I don't think this happens if not for name, image, and likeness, but I also don't think it happens if not for Deion. I mean, Deion Sanders, he's such an electric personality. And, Travis Hunter, the top recruit in the country, who he flipped from Florida State. It's hilarious that now Florida State fans are livid with Deion Sanders. Like, that to me
So disrespectful,
It's
It's
very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Do they not want him to build his own program? Like, I mean,
Well, I mean, they're mad because they didn't get it. But here's the funny part. He wanted to go to FSU 4 years ago as the
he
head
did.
coach.
And
They said,
they thought it
nope,
was a joke.
we're taking
Yeah.
the Mississippi State head coach.
Yep. Yeah, no, so I love it, man. I mean, I think that, and first of all, this is so great because when they first started name, image, and likeness, a lot of people thought this might hurt, HBCUs and FCS schools even more because this is just going to like widen the wealth gap. But we're seeing the opposite happen, right? Because
when you have Deion Sanders as your coach, it's a lot easier to get top 100. I mean, recruits to come to your program.
Yeah, and $1 million name, image, and likeness. I think it's from Barstool, or at least most of it's from Barstool. Yeah, it's from Barstool. Yep. But so it's like so the fact that you've got NIL donors stepping up for schools like Jackson State, so it's not really a widening of the wealth gap. It's actually providing opportunities for schools where the top recruit in the country just don't normally go to.
Lane Kiffin did a press conference the other day for Ole Miss, and he said something that I thought was very interesting. He said college football now we're in a very interesting transition time because he said it's free agency. This is free agency. The only difference between college football and the pros now is in football or in professional, you are dealt to a contract, which means that's what keeps you to a program. Right. Now with the transfer portal being what it is, as well as name, image, and likeness, NIL deals, you're a professional athlete and you can move to any school at any time pretty much.
Exactly.
What do you think about that? Like that, I mean, it sets it up for, there's a lot of red tape that is going, like people are going to find ways to cut corners and cheat the system. Yeah. And I think we're going to see that over the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, I mean, to me, the bottom line is, and this is, I'm sure that there are some ways where this is just going to complicate things, but the bottom line to me is this is benefiting the athletes, right? And the athletes are the ones that have really been held back and exploited, for lack of a better term, for a century with the way that college football has been structured. Because I mean, we see how it's been in recent years. College football is such big business, and it's just been.
It's a $1 billion business.
Yeah, it's been institutions and TV networks making billions of dollars when the players theoretically are not making anything. I say theoretically because obviously they're, under the table stuff I'm sure happens in a lot of places around the country. But
getting a free education.
That too. Yeah, and the education is valuable. But, theoretically, they're, theoretically these guys have been unpaid for forever. And so now to see the athletes benefiting here, I think it's the biggest possible thing. I got to let you run, my friend. I've got to head out. But
you got to go.
I got to go. That's why we did the show early, because I'm doing some post game Italian soccer in a bit, and the game I'm watching has begun. Go. But let people know, man. They can see on the screen where to find you on Twitter at Stephen D. SKPL, which stands for Spreading Kindness, Positivity, and Love. Yep. Where can they find everything you guys are doing at Miami Sports Music?
Miami Sports Music on YouTube. Go to Miami Sports Music on YouTube. I have a morning show called Clock Blockers every weekday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Usually it's a little bit after. I would love to see you all come up there. But most importantly, I'd love to see y'all subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to 5 Reasons Sports if you haven't done so already. Thank 5 you. Reasons Sports has been, I love you and Ethan so much. You guys have been so just amazing to our network and allowing me to come on Fridays and promote my network. And you guys are always welcome on my network. I love you guys.
I love it. Thanks so much, Steven. Enjoy the Dolphins game. They're going to smash the Jets. Don't even worry about it. We'll talk to you again soon.
I'll call you when I'm in Miami tomorrow.
I love it. Yeah, man. I hope we can hook up. That's awesome. Stephen D from Clock Blockers. All right, guys, I want to remind you, my friends, that one of the newest partners here on Donno Daily, this is a great opportunity to make passive income. Our friends at BlockFi. We are a BlockFi affiliate, and we are damn proud of it. If you're into the crypto space or you've been thinking about getting into it, this is an awesome place to buy, hodl, and earn interest. Earn up to 8% APY with your crypto at BlockFi.com. We actually have a referral link. If you go to the show description, scroll down, and you will see very clearly, and Manny always labels it very clearly, our referral link to BlockFi.com. Click on that and sign up. You can earn up to 8% APY. That is called passive income, my friends. Let your money work for you. And you can also sign up for the BlockFi Visa Signature Rewards card and earn unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin. So let's stack those sats and make some money together, my friends. And yes, we are served by the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. We were out at the Quarterdeck 5 Reasons Sports for a Miami Heat watch party a couple nights ago. We're going to be back there soon for another watch party. We were at the Davie location. You never know where we might turn up next. And there are locations all over South Florida. If you want to find the Quarterdeck location nearest to you, it's such a great place to watch a game, enjoy 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day, eat delicious food. Go to their website, check out their menu, find the location nearest to you. QuarterdeckRestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. And yes, our official sports book, America's favorite sports book. They are the 3-decade leader. Bet NFL games, college football bowl games, UFC fights, international soccer games, everything at betus.com. And sign up with our code 5RSN125, and they'll give you the best bonus in the industry, 125% sign-up bonus. And yes, you can use BetUS in Florida. It is available in Florida. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. For the fantasy football fans out there, and basketball, by the way, Underdog Fantasy. They've got an amazing app. You draft a team. You don't have to worry about maintenance and waivers. They handle all of that for you. They've got daily and yearly competitions at UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with our code 5RSN. They're going to give you a nice cash bonus. Underdog Fantasy. All right, let me throw some shout outs before we wrap it up here. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people commenting on Jaleel Skinner getting flipped from Alabama to Miami. 6'5" stud tight end out of IMG Academy. Jaleel Skinner is a hurricane. He pledged and signed his national letter of intent today. That is a big one, folks. This is the 82nd overall ranked player in the country. That is huge. And yeah, Andy in Scotland talking about crypto. Cardano. That is a good investment, and it's on a dip right now. Good time to buy. ADA, ADA is the code where you find that. That's one of the big ones that I'm into. You know, I mess around with some of the smaller altcoins. Most of my money is in the bigger coins like Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana. Those are very good investments always. Shake Money, thank you so much for tuning in. Dolphin Don, thank you. Doug E. Fresh, I love it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, he says, I have 3 theories about the black and blue squares behind you, as I have no clue. 1, a board for 1D chess. 2, semaphore. And 3, it's Nunya. No, it's because I'm a big Inter Milan fan. It's blue and black. Those are the colors of the soccer team that I adore. That's why I've got the blue and black squares back there. It's way you came up with all these cockamamie theories. It's way simpler than you even thought. Anthony Monsanto. Oh, hold on. What was the comment here? Donno, if one of the Flores major issues is that he micromanages what veteran OC wants to deal, what veteran OC wants to deal with that. If he can't use his own playbook, the head coach doesn't want to. I think, honestly, part of the issue is I don't think Flores is that great of a networker. I think one of the reasons why you end up seeing such small-time OCs, he tried with Chan Gailey, who, Grandpa Chan. But yeah, I think the reason why you see such low-profile coordinators is I just don't really think that Flores is the best networker. One of the great skills that head coach can have is knowing and having the ability to hire great assistants. And I think Flores maybe has lacked that a little bit. But thank you for tuning in. JP, Estefan, Big Dan 305, Goat of Iloa. I love that name. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see who else. Who else that I haven't shouted out already here? Pete's DFS takes. I love it. Oh, yeah, I don't know where Big John Stud. I feel bad because right before I got on the show, I couldn't pick up because I was setting up. Big John Stud tried to call me, so I owe him a call back. So I got to call him back. Oh, here you go. My beloved Inter Milan, the blue and black squares back there, they just took a 1-0 lead against Salernitana. So there you go. Playing on the road in Salerno against the worst team in the league, but we got the 1-0 lead, my friends. Ivan Perisic. What a man. Bishop Sycamore's finest. Estefan, who I may have shouted out already. You get the double shout out. Let's see. Who else? I try not to shout people out twice. Roy Crosby. I don't know if he's related to Sydney or Bing, but thank you for tuning in. My guy, Ray Grullon. I love it. This is one of my favorites. I love when he says, howdy, Donno. PB Matthew, hello. This is totally my fault, bro. I have put you guys through the wood chipper this week. I have been all over the place. So there were 2 days this week when I filled in for Hawk on Hawk and Crowder because he was ill, which that show starts at 2. So I had to do earlier times in the day because of that show starting at 2 o'clock. And then today, I'm going to be for another platform that I run, the Calcio Connection, where we talk Italian soccer. I'm going to be reviewing a game that's on right now. So I wanted to start the show early, but I know being regular is important, whether you're talking about, bowels moving or showtimes. Being regular is very important. I'm going to try to do a better job next week. But also, like, the way that I look at it is this. Like, ideally, I go on at 3 o'clock on the dot every single day, completely regular. That's the ideal thing. But being, on YouTube through the 5 Reasons Sports Network, part of the magic of that is it does give me some flexibility that if I have something important going on during the regular show time, I do have the ability essentially to move the show to whatever the hell the time I want to, just to like accommodate anything else that I've got going on in life. So I've done that. I've done that way too many times this week. I think I've only had 2 regular 3 p.m. shows, and I've been all over the place the rest of the week. But I appreciate you finding us anyway, PB Matthew. Thank you for finding us at these odd-ass times. I'm going to try to be. And for anybody, if you're watching us for the first time or the first time in a long time, we do typically go on at 3 p.m. So find us then. Joseph LaFleur, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Who have I not shouted out yet? It always gets very tricky once I've seen a bunch of the same people. Oh, Caddyshack 5987. And I think Caddyshack mentioned in the chat that this was their first time using the live chat. So hopefully not the last time. And yeah, they point out Raiders and Browns due to COVID has been moved to Monday. That was confirmed today. Thank you for that. Ernesto Gonzalez, thank you for tuning in. John Featherland, the better Tua plays, the better his draft picks we can get for him. I don't know. I don't think they're trading him, especially not for Deshaun Watson with everything coming up. But Estefan, I think I shouted out already. Let's see. And if I miss anybody, by the way, I apologize. We got another spammer, I think. I mean, help me out, guys. When you see that sort of, and nobody click that, by the way, because that there might be Omicron at the other end of that click. But every time you see a message like that, is that a spammer or is that like some kind of online code that I don't understand? I don't know. I don't know what that is. But Abigail, if you're a spammer or not, either way, welcome. Okay. Jay Rose, thank you for tuning in. My guy Cliff. Now, Cliff knows what I'm talking about with the Italian soccer because that's actually how I know Cliff. He's even though we're rivals, he's a Juventus fan and I'm an Inter fan. We're supposed to hate each other, but I still think Cliff is an awesome guy. I'm a big fan of his. David, thank you so much. Brooklyn Rob, thank you for tuning in. These guys are regulars and we love them. Even though they call me the mush, we still love them. Miami Trev, thank you so much for tuning in. Andy from Scotland. Evening all, fins up. Fire Greer, let's go Heat and Spo we trust. And the Canes are coming. The Canes are absolutely coming. Chris from Finn's Fan Tailgate, thank you so much. By the way, if you guys can find him on Twitter, he is giving away Dolphins tickets to Sunday's game. He's giving them away. Like, he's not selling them. He's giving them away, and free food comes with that as well. So check that out. All right, we'll be back Monday, I think at the regular time, 3 p.m., right here on Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Ciao.